Hey guys, this is Max Ketchum. I'm here with HungryBox. We're at the CSL Collegiate exhibition for Smash 4 at PAX East. I'm here to talk to him about Collegiate Smash and esports. So, HungryBox, just to start it off, I'm not sure if you know, but your alma mater, UF, actually just took home first place at the Smash 4 Collegiate Southeastern Regionals yesterday.
Yeah, they did. I think University of Florida, Gainesville actually has a collection of 5 of maybe the best players in the entire state. And the fact that they're all going to either UF or the substituent school next to them, Santa Fe, the fact that they're all being able to study and still have a great run in Smash and be basically representatives for the characters, it's a really cool thing. Super proud of them, but it shows you how far you can go, just still being part of your school, still getting your degree, and still pushing forward towards something that you love. In this case, Team Smash 4. I think it's a really great thing.
Do you think they have a shot at taking home the whole thing?
I would be hard-pressed if anyone beat them, to be honest. I think Rutgers won last time, but I think right now I think just the level of skill, the collection of just really experienced character matchups in that city, and the amount of players that have the variety, I think no one can touch UF right now, so I'd put my money on them, most likely.
So you mentioned striking a balance between academics and Super Smash Bros.
Sure.
As someone who has experience with an engineering degree and going through college, getting relatively good marks, I would assume, what are your major pieces of advice for people who are in this position?
Well, essentially, when you're in college, you learn a lot about time management. You learn that even though you want to go to all these tournaments, you want to have time to do this, you want to have time to practice, time to play with your friends, you have exams around the corner, homework, this and that. I always say that put school first and make Smash the reward. Because when you make sort of Smash an obligation, I think you forget the reason of why you're playing it in the first place. So instead, it has to be something that you love, something that you can say, I did everything else, and now because I did this, now I can truly have fun and be relaxed and play Smash. And I think that's when people really find that they can improve the most, when they play under no stress. And even though I'm doing full-time esports right now, I never sort of thought that tournaments were an obligation, I have to do well, have a good team to back me, and it would be in a sort of spot where I can do it and just enjoy the game, play my best, and even if I have an off day, it's still okay because my team back me still. I think it's very similar in collegiate esports. I think once you realize that losing isn't the end of the world, and you can still improve, I think it definitely motivates not only the top players to do better, but all the up and comers, all the amateurs who are going to their first tournament, their first Smash Fest out of college, and I think it sort of opens that pathway to a lot of people by doing so.
Right. So what can you tell me about your knowledge of the current state of Collegiate Smash, and after that, collegiate esports in general?
It's funny because I think Smash Bros, we look at all the games that people in college play. You have the major competitive titles like League of Legends, where you don't really play at a party, and then you have games like Mario Party and just drinking games that you play just for the fun of it. Then you have Smash Bros in the middle, which is played at a bunch of almost a bunch of extracurriculars. Everyone knows the game. It's played at frat houses. In every single dorm room, you might find an N64 or something like that. Everyone's heard of Smash Bros, but it has this really cool niche factor where it's also one of the most competitive, if not the most competitive fighting game series in the world right now. So you have an intense familiarity, an intense nostalgia with the game, and a bunch of people, a bunch of young people who are willing to go to events that are well-made, sanctioned, and they're willing to put their time into it. It's actually a good commitment for a lot of people because they're so familiar with it. It has it's easy to pick up, it takes years to master, and it's constantly being pushed. Even in Nintendo released Smash 4, I think 3 years ago now. But even still, they're still giving the idea that they made the game so that anyone can pick it up and get good at it pretty quickly and put the time into it. So whether you like that, whether you like something that's a little more faster paced like Melee, the series sort of gives you each person a flavor that they can choose from, and each flavor has its own scene. So it's something that's welcoming to a large number of people.
Cool. So currently, we have the Melee games, we have Smash 4 Collegiate, but these leagues aren't booming on the level of the NCAA, for example.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So what structures do you think need to be put in place? What gears do we need to get turning to get Smash Collegiate esports on this level? How do you think we should achieve that?
Well, yeah, college sports have always been, lauded, for the past hundreds of years, right? It's always been a staple of even American culture. I think if a lot of schools start seeing esports as something that can be, celebrated like regular sports, I think it's the first step. I think having scholarships towards someone who wants to dedicate their time to being a professional Smash player. I think if they can keep up their grades and show they can play Smash also, it not only shows drive, it shows someone able to balance two separate passions. And I think it's an extremely valuable skill to have in the future. That speaks huge for a school, you know? And I think in the future, we might have, you know, all the esports team pick up top players, but how cool would it be if you went to like Evo or to Big House or to one of these huge Smash events and see 10 Smashers wearing their school's colors, you know what I mean? You have the pride there, you have the like representation, and then you have rivalries, right? As long as the school is willing to recognize an esport as an extracurricular, as a fully sanctioned school function, then that's the first step. That gets the gears working, because now other schools say like, well, hey, we have Smash players too, and we think ours is better than yours. And that's when you have rivalries, that's when you have entertainment, when you have crowds, the money comes in. I think it all solves itself, and I think that Smash, thankfully, is now growing to the point where it is a thing that I think not only colleges, not only students, but anyone watching, it benefits every party. So I think that's where we're going to go pretty soon. I think with guys like the CSL, and I think as long as schools see it, it has a very bright future ahead of itself.
Awesome. So how about more toward the overall Smash scene? How do you think the Smash scene itself is going to grow to this level where it's recognized as a legitimate extracurricular activity on the level of sports, or maybe just taken more seriously than competitive gaming currently is? Like, what do we need to build Smash overall, not just in the collegiate sphere?
I would say that circuits would be good, but I think also to push Smash into the next echelon, I really do think we need to start targeting the demographics that aren't as well represented in Smash. And I really do think that the idea of having perhaps a circuit, because when you go to a tournament, you know, you see, I think all the races are represented pretty well. Age groups, you have really young kids and you have some older people. A lot of people usually between 18 and 25. But I think, for instance, doing maybe an all kids league, an all youth league, or maybe an all female circuit. Because you see some girls playing Smash, but the ratio currently is maybe I would say 95% guys, 5% girls. And I think the way to change that is to sort of offer the idea that, similar to chess where they have different circuits and you can sort of have narratives for both groups, it's like everyone talks about the five gods of Smash and all these top players. What if we had an all-female circuit and all of a sudden you see this, it's a main event at an event like Big House or CEO, and you see the finals and you see these two really good players just duking it out, and you get the four goddesses of Smash and something like that. I think there's a lot of narratives that could be made. I think there's a lot of avenues that get overshadowed by what's already in place. What's already in place is good, it's entertaining, but there could be this whole new set of people who are competitive, who will have intense rivalries that we have no idea about, And I think that's the next step going forward. I think that's something that I would really want to see, as long as the community was ready to back it. And I think it's a good idea. I think that's where we gotta go.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up playing out. That would be really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Any growth in the scene is obviously welcomed by people like you and me, and all of us really. I think all Smash players really want to see the same thing, and it's the scene just growing to these astronomical levels like League of Legends, or even beyond that.
Yeah, because as soon as you get more people involved, you get their friends involved and their families, and it all comes full circle at the end of the day. So that's where we gotta go.
Awesome. So let's say I'm a HungryBox fan, and I'm also a student balancing a full course load in a difficult major. What advice do you have for me to specifically make this lifestyle work, and also why would I want to pursue this path?
My first step would be never forget your safety net. Never jump out of a plane without a parachute. So continue your degree. Go straight forward with what I guess your initial plan was going to college. If you wanted to be an engineer, make sure you're an engineer. If you wanted to go into law or into medicine or being a doctor, do those things. Make sure you do those things, because if you truly think this isn't for me, I want to just do full esports like that, it's good to celebrate your passion, but you'll be surprised that having a balance between both, sort of exercising your mind in both avenues, actually helps you in both. Seeing a game, when you already have something else you're working on, if you're studying all these organic chemistry equations and then you play Smash, when you're exercising your mind that often, it actually helps you in both. So, for one, it makes you play better in Smash. Two, again, making Smash the reward makes you more likely to want to do well in an exam. And three, people are still young. There's no reason right now to, you don't have to fully put all your eggs in one basket. I want to encourage students to put their eggs in as many baskets as possible, to see what they truly love doing, and to remind them that you can be the best player in the world and still get a degree and a job with relative ease as long as you put your mind in the right direction, as long as you balance yourself. It's completely possible. So my answer to that is don't drop one thing for another. Do both. Don't undersell yourself. You can do both, and you're a lot more driven than you think you are. That's what I would say.
Awesome. So as we're talking about getting Smash to be dignified on the level of athletics, what do you think some external factors, just stuff outside of actual gameplay and knowledge, would help somebody ascend to the next level of gameplay?
Well, I think that from day one, what separates professionals from amateurs is the amount of time they put into friendlies, the amount of times they go into actually attending tournaments, attending Smash Fests, exposing themselves to as many different characters and playstyles as they can from early on, because that sort of sets the proper direction. If you can't get good playing only one person and their one character, maybe you'll get good specifically at that, but you need character matchups and player matchups. And once you have those, your body and your mind, the way Smash works is that you start figuring out exactly what you have to do, even if you're faced with an unfamiliar foe. If you fight a matchup you've never seen before, the fact that you've been in that situation, the fact that you're like, wait, I remember playing another weird character, how did I figure it out there? Your mind will do the same function against them as well. That's what Smash is, just making sure you're familiar with all these situations which you may or may not see. And how do you do that? Tournaments and Smash Fests. And colleges have those all the time. So I think actually the next professionals, the next top players, I think, are going to come straight from colleges, because that's the breeding grounds for good gameplay, for just good competitive vibes and spirit. So I would not be surprised at all if the next professional was, an undergraduate from Community X or College X too.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, the breeding ground thing. I feel like collegiate areas could just be where the next Smash Pro develops.
It's evolutionary for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty much just a constant Smash Fest on campus all the time.
Yep.
So how about more lifestyle-oriented things, like taking care of yourself and getting sleep as opposed to staying up all night? Along those lines, like, how do you think that affects gameplay? Do you think it's like a serious impact, or do you think it's just like, I could balance 4 hours of sleep and staying up all night playing with the top player?
When I was in college, I definitely had many all-nighters. I definitely had times where during the week I literally couldn't sleep because I couldn't get the stuff done in time. But everyone's gonna have different ways of doing it. I wouldn't say even I was the best time management. I still struggle with it. There's people who are way better than I am. But if you're going to a tournament, I would definitely say sleep is one of the most important things. I think the most important thing. Whereas an exam you can study the night before, but if you don't sleep that well, you might forget everything you learned. But if you study a good bit, review it, and then go to sleep, like your mind will exercise naturally, and even if you don't know something on an exam, you'll still be alert and able to logically figure it out. I feel like Smash is the same way. You could practice all night at a Smash Fest before. That's what I used to do for there's old floor tournaments called Winterfest, things like that. I would play until 6 in the morning because no, I gotta get good, I gotta do all this, and I go into a tournament groggy as all hell, just completely out of it, realizing that Smash Fest only hurt me even more rather than help anything. It really is like riding a bicycle. With Smash, you can go to sleep at 9 p.m. the night before, go into the tournament, and then just play. Just warm up for an hour or two, and it all comes back to you. And right then and there, with a warm up before the tournament starts, that's where the magic happens. That's where you get really good and get sleep. Rest is important. Very important.
I think HungryBox is definitely the person to tell you that rest is important.
It's the quintessential thing.
All right, so do you have any last words for the viewers, for anyone in college or outside of it who's a fan of Smash, someone maybe who's unfamiliar with Smash completely, just things they want to get out there?
Yeah, if you're in college right now and you've ever played Smash Bros, you've heard of the name Smash Bros, and you're interested, you're in pretty good hands right now. I think that the best time to play Smash ever is right now as you're hearing this, and I think that you'd be surprised to see how many opportunities you might have to not only pursue your career goals, but to also make a mark in esports history as a great Smash player. And I think it's open to anyone, and right now it's a great time to start.
Cool. Any final words, shout-outs?
Yeah, shout-outs to Team Liquid, to CSL, the H-Fam, Amanda, my parents, Crunch, all the people supporting me, all the people supporting Collegiate esports, and shout-outs to all the students who are willing to sort of take that risk, sort of take the time into maybe diving deeper in something they love and saying, maybe I'm not just some player, maybe I could be something at this.
All right, guys. Well, those are our last words with HungryBox. Hope to see you looking forward to more CSL Smash content, and that's it.